Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is a follow-up to a video I done yesterday about Mazar Azarbonyad. He's the guy that had the car crash on the A1 just north of Gateshead that saw 7 police officers end up in hospital. Now he's at court today where he just pled guilty. But the maddest thing about this is a guy that had that accident. Part of his bail conditions originally were that he wouldn't drive anymore until he went to court. He was caught again driving without a licence and without insurance. And today, where he pled guilty in court, they bailed him again, awaiting sentencing. I kind of don't know what some people need to do to get to jail in this country, but this is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm using the Telegraph for reference, and to be fair, there's a couple of newspapers picked up on his court visit today. And their headline is, personal trainer involved in A1 crash with 5 police cars was on a first date. Who cares? Mazar Azarbonyad pleads guilty to dangerous driving after pile-up, which left 7 police officers needing hospital treatment. A personal trainer who caused a police car pile-up was on a first date. He appeared in the Newcastle Magistrates Court where he pleaded guilty to dangerous driving, failing to stop twice and having no licence and no insurance during the crash in April the 9th. 5 police vehicles were badly damaged. The pile-up which left 7 officers requiring hospital treatment. Following his guilty plea on Saturday, Azarbonyad was granted conditional bail by magistrates ahead of his sentencing next month. Let me remind you, he'd already been granted bail when he was originally charged, and part of that bail was you don't drive another car. The 20-year-old was driving a BMW which police initially tried to stop in Swalwell Gateshead as the rear light was defective, but he sped away. He was later seen approaching the A1 and was pursued before the serious collision occurred near the Denton roundabout. Wee bit of strangeness here. Denton roundabout sits above the A1. I know it well. I used to pass it twice a week going back and forward to Sunderland where I worked for a while. That's, remember, Raoul Moult, the guy that shot the copper in the eye. That's where he was stopped, the road rage guy. So it's quite a well-known landmark. The Iraqi defendant from County Durham was granted police bail after was questioned about the early morning incident in the A1, during which he told officers his driving had been shit. Okay. 2 days later, Azarbonyad was back behind the wheel, driving a red Hyundai to get to his work at the gym in Newcastle, despite being warned not to drive and having no licence or insurance. Police saw him in a garage forecourt filling his vehicle up with fuel and arrested him before he told them about other times he'd been driving since the crash. So the crash was on the 9th. 2 days later, on the 11th, they found him driving, and he's admitted to previous, driving in between in those 2 days. And this guy gets bail. Simon Worthy, prosecuting, said, "One would have thought as a matter of common sense that having been involved in something of this seriousness plastered all over the press, that you would have been a bit more sensible about your activities, having been so lucky to get out of the accident only 2 days before. But no, you continued to stick 2 fingers up." So they still bailed him. Mr. Worthy said in the night of the major collision, he had eventually slowed down after being surrounded by police vehicles until an unmarked car collided with all of them. He said in the defendant's vehicle was a lady who was on her first date with him. Jack Lovell, defendant, said Azarbonyad worked as a self-employed personal trainer at a gym in Newcastle, did not claim benefits, good for him, and had no previous convictions. He was supported after coming to UK from Iran aged 15 or 16. This is a mad thing. How do you know what age you are when you come into a country? You know when you come in. We'll be able to tell you the dates, but you still don't know if he's 15 or 16. That stopped when he became an adult and he's lived alone, independently. Mr. Lovell said that the defendant had shown genuine remorse for his actions. What, by jumping back in a car? That's some remorse, that. He'd been very foolish to get behind the wheel, the solicitor said, and made full and further admissions about driving the Hyundai to work. On the night of the crash, Azan Boyad was on his way to drop his date off home when he came to the attention of the police. He tells me at that point, it is immediate panic. He was aware he had no insurance and the woman had made reference to being in possession of cannabis, Mr. Lovell said. The defendant knew he should have pulled over immediately. Mr. Lovell said, but after getting on the A1 and driving some distance, he did slow down, put his indicators on and gestured out the window with his hand to show he was braking, the court heard. I kind of doubt that. Right, I know that means I want to slow down if you're using hand signals. I kind of think a boy with no licence from Iran wouldn't know that. I'm going to stick my neck in the line and say bollocks to that. Mr. Lovell said a number of police vehicles manoeuvred around the BMW and helicopter footage showed that he was essentially at a stop when the fallen unmarked car, which had earlier reached 135 mile an hour, collided with them around 80. From there was something of a domino effect. It flips over and then the other police vehicles are involved. I'm not in any way trying to excuse what happened, but yeah, he should not have been driving the vehicle. It is his driving that led to the incident on the A1. He accepts that by the way of his guilty plea. Paul Hutchinson, the magistrate, well done Paul, granted Azan Boyad bail on conditions that he does not get behind the wheel of a vehicle. He's already done it more than once. And he abides by a 10 to 8 a.m. curfew to state his address. He'll be sentenced on May the 20th at Newcastle Crown Court. That's how the article finished, by the way. They call me cynical, right? But I kind of think he'll dodge a custodial sentence here merely by the fact that he's been given bail. Don't get me wrong, if between now and getting sentenced, he jumps in a car again and gets caught, then that would probably not be good for his sentencing. But if he keeps his nose clean, I've got a gut feeling, and I'll put good money on it if anybody wants a wee charity bet, that come May the 20th at Newcastle Crown Court, he gets no custodial. Staying up to date with events around the world can be difficult, where it's impossible to consult a single source for the full story. Narratives that shape public opinion often just reinforce media and corporate-backed vested interests. It's hard to know what information to trust. See what the media is exaggerating, sensationalising, over or under reporting. That's why I've been using Ground News. Ground News is an app and website that combines news from around the world in one place so you can compare coverage. For every news source, you can see if it has any political bias, how reliable the reporting is, and who owns them. They even have a blind spot feed that highlights news disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. Take a data-driven view on the news and stay current. Get news from thousands of sources worldwide in one place. I've been using Ground News to help me get all the world's news in one place and give a more balanced opinion on what we read and viewing who is telling us the truth and who isn't. Subscribe via my link to get 40% off the Vantage subscription. It's the one I use to get unlimited access to every feature. Your subscription can not only help my channel, but also help Ground News, as it makes the media landscape more transparent. There's my bet. So if you want other people to see this video, do 1, 2 or 3 of the following things. Click the thumbs up button. Split second, costs you nothing. Put some comments below, take you 10 seconds. And if you want other people to see it, click share and share it along your friends and family into other social media platforms. But most importantly of all, unless you're the type of geezer that comes from Iran when you don't know if you're 15 or 16 at the time, doesn't bother getting a driving licence, doesn't bother stopping by the police, and ends up causing this 7 police officers to end up in the hospital. No you. But
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.